There are malasadas and treats. So just want to say good morning, and we will have our lovely guests, Lorraine and Lynn from Fairway, read our mission statement. And then feel free to speak on the business.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, aloha. So I love your mission statement, so I'll go ahead and read this. To build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. And then I'll hand it over to Lynn Rome here with the Lynn Rome team.
Hi, everybody. I know that Lorraine has met most of you all and has done such a great job building connections and relationships. I like to come on island at least once a quarter to show that there is a team behind all the hard work that she is doing. So thank you for that. Also, just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about Fairway just for a brief moment. I know that unfortunately in this time of the market, you all have lenders coming out of the woodworks and there's lots of choices that you have. Lorraine and I come from a slightly different background on the customer service side. And so we really want to partner with you and figure out ways to get clients into your homes, which is not always an easy thing to do right now. So we don't want to take up too much of your time in your meeting here. We just appreciate the partnership from so many of you and hope to get more opportunities to be able to speak one-on-one.
Yep. Come by and get some malasadas if you're in town today. Aloha.
Bye.
Thank you. Yeah, I have to show you guys. It's a reason to come in person. Thank you for everyone who's here. Awesome. I will let Allie do our mission moment.
Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to say thank you everyone who's shown up to Marion's class last week, Thursday, and for Holy Shift on Friday with Lee and Barbara Potts. If anyone wants to chime in and share any takeaways that they got from those two trainings last week, now is the time. Anyone? Maybe. Okay. And
Awesome. Well, it was great to see a full room. It was really high level conversation on distressed property. So thank you for everyone who showed up and enjoyed margaritas and treats. So, okay, let's go to the next slide. RJ, happy birthday. Everyone, look at all these birthdays. Give someone a birthday high five. If you see their name there, we are your Ohana. We hope you celebrate and have a great day. Next slide. And welcome, Chasten's here. He showed up in person. It's awesome. Vanu, Nija, Donna, I saw you on the call. Way to go. Pia, Lauren, and Steiner. Super excited to have all of you join our Ohana. We are here to support you, so don't hesitate to reach out. Next slide. 6 personal perspectives. Nicole, our beloved director of productivity development, is going to speak on one of these. She's here? Yeah. Okay, we'll go to the next slide. Bucket fills. Does anyone have anything to say about someone that they've worked with? Maybe you've done a deal with them. Maybe they helped you with your open house. Now's a chance to chime in and thank your Ohana.
I'm going to give you a shout out. We really appreciate your leadership. We appreciate all the classes that we're getting to have. We appreciate the sense of community and being able to come back into the office again. So that's a really big deal.
Thank you. Thank you, Teresa.
Oh, thank you for the malasadas. They smell amazing.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
You still have time to get here. If you're not here, to hop in the car and there will be malasadas. Okay, next slide.
Could I
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to thank Bill Babbitt. He's been very supportive, very helpful, wonderful, responsive, and I'm grateful.
That's awesome. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Bill, for your leadership. Cap for Chris. Way to go, Chris. And we have more there. Evelyn. Congratulations. Woohoo. And Sarah. Way to go. That's so great. Carol. Congratulations. Awesome. Okay, now this is where we dig deep. I want you guys to pay attention to these. Look at all of them are in the 10s-ish, except for listings taken. This is Keller Williams Realty International. So we're ranging pretty much between 10 and 17% on all our key metrics, month over month. Now let's look at our region. Region is taking a hit. take a look at that. This is exactly why we are teaching shift every week, except this week, in the 20% down month over month, and even up to 30% down. Way down, right, Lisa? We are here to support you. We really have an opportunity when a market shifts to gain market share. We can teach you how to do that. Show up for the classes. There's very specific strategies. We've been preparing for this. And now take a deep breath. Next slide. This is our market center numbers. And I'm sure some of you are feeling the pain. I want to point out some positives. We have positive 33% listing taken month over month. Also, listing takens volume is only down 5% compared to the region, which is much more. But we see and experience this with you. So we want to be here for you. And oh, yes, thank you. Nicole is at a conference. Thank you, Tim. That's right. She is at Coaching Skills Camp. So I apologize for including that there. Yes, our coaches are getting trained to help you. So reach out if you need help with a business consultation or plan. We're here for you. Okay, next slide. Recap. Look at Mega Agent Camp. I know I came away, it personally impacted me, my own personal finances. We had 12,000 total attendees, and in person, what is it, like 8,000? And Lisa made a great point. Yes, even though we are experiencing downshift, we are still outperforming our market. So that's good to remember. This is exactly what we're going to do to increase our market share. Next slide. Dean, I am so excited to feature our very own Dean Otto, who has this business called Kohana. And he is here to share how his fractional ownership differentiates itself from the other ones out there. So I look forward to learning from you, Dean. Thank you so much. We understand that you have showings on the west side, and so appreciate you being here virtually.
I know, and I missed out on the malasadas, which is really hurts right now. So, thank you, Sasha. But yes, I did. I started a new business with a partner from Oregon, and that's why there's Oregon photos on here. But it's a co-ownership business, and it's not a fractional company. Right.
Oh.
So I just wanted to make that correction up front, because what we do is a little bit different. What we do is we collect groups of buyers, like 3 or 4 typically, and basically find a property. We group 3 or 4 people together. We form an LLC, and then the LLC owns that property for 8-year set period. And then we sell it at the end of 8 years. So our role as Kohana Homes is the name of the company. And you know, see Kohana being a combination of co-ownership and Ohana, right? So we're operating in Maui and in Bend, Oregon right now, and we're looking to spread elsewhere as well. And we're talking to agents around the country who are interested in partnering with us in this process, right? So we just saw those statistics, which are incredible. And it shows a pretty drastic change in the market, right? And it's an interesting time, but it's also a great opportunity time. And the opportunity comes with being creative, in my opinion. Right now, the market is a lot of people sitting on the fence. And in order to draw them into the market, we have to be a little bit more creative than we've been in the past. So it's a real opportunity for us. For me, co-ownership is the opportunity that I've chosen to sort of, you know, be creative about our market. Right. So we all have all these clients that have come to Maui over the last 5 years and didn't buy anything and are sitting in your database. Right. And I'm wondering whether any of those people would be interested in buying a 1/4 interest in a home rather than buying the whole home. Right. So a lot of people have been looking at these $4 million homes and chose not to buy them. And primarily the reason they don't buy them is because they're not here on Maui long enough to take advantage of the investment. Right. So $4 million is a lot of money. If you're only here like the typical second homeowner, you're only here for 2-3 months a year, right? So does it make sense to buy a home for $4 million when you're only here 2 months a year? For a lot of people, not. But that's an opportunity that I'm planning to take advantage of. You know, I'm going after all those people who are only going to be here 2-3 months a year. I'm going to package them all together, find an appropriate property for them, sell them the property, put them into the LLC, and I'm going to manage it for 8 years. And I'm going to sell it at the end of 8 years. That's the program. So the reason that we're different than Picasso, right? blazing a trail for us right now. And I think it's a great thing for us because we're very similar to Picasa. And we also collect owners and put them into an LLC and then, have these sharing arrangements that are facilitated through Picasa. So where we're different than Picasa is that we're not a fractional company. We don't sell partial interests in properties. It's a dangerous place to be. We don't want any part of it. We have a fixed exit strategy that if we buy a property through Kohana, we will all be selling that property in 8 years together. And that we will plan the whole ownership market. You'll never be stuck with a portion of a property trying to resell a partial interest in an LLC. I don't believe it's a great model for Picasa because where do you sell partial interest in LLC? I've never heard of it. They may be big enough to be able to do it themselves, but it's not really what we want to do as real estate agents, right? Our company is drawing in investment-oriented, profit-oriented people who are willing to share. So we know for a fact, based on the Montage is a great example. Montage launched whole ownership and fractional at the same time. The fractional in 2006 was 300,000 plus. Today, they're 175,000 average, right? The whole ownership, that unit in 2006 that sold for 3.3 million, just resold for 8.2 million. So we see an opportunity in whole ownership. Fractional partial ownership has not performed well over the past. No one's really ever made money on timeshare, right? But what we do is we offer the benefits of sharing and fractional mentality, right? So you're only paying for 1/4 of the expenses. You're not footing the whole bill. You're not dealing with maintenance. You're not dealing with anything other than showing up and enjoying. And so we see a great opportunity there for all these people that don't spend enough time here. You can't vacation rent homes anymore. It's becoming more and more pressure on vacation renting. And co-ownership is really the alternative to renting, right? Because you vacation rent your homes in order to cover the expenses when you're not there and using it, right? Because the average is 2 to 3 months a year of use. You vacation rent to be able to pay those bills. But if you only own 3 months and you're using it for 3 months, there's really no need to be able to try to rent a property and create those expenses. It's a great thing for our community, in my opinion. For us to be continuing to develop second homes that are only being used 2 to 3 months a year makes no sense. What I'm doing with co-ownership and with Kohana Homes is I'm targeting existing owners who are only using their property 2 to 3 months a year and are willing to sell the remaining unused portion, right? So if you think about an owner, the swing is from paying all the debt, paying all the expenses, dealing with all the maintenance, dealing with all the headaches, no income. So the conversion to co-ownership could be that they go into a 1/4 interest, let's just say. We'll pay off all of their debt. They'll move forward with no maintenance issues at all, or responsibilities. They'll only pay 1/4 of the expenses, and they still have the 3 months of usage, which is what they only had in the beginning anyway, right? So financially, it makes a lot of sense. This is a concept that is really growing. There's a huge number of companies that are getting into this area right now. And there's also venture capital and private equity money that is looking for ways to make money in real estate in a declining market. My contention that what was $4 million 6 months ago might be $3.5 million today. But through co-ownership, I may be able to sell for $1 million interests and get that $4 million for you. And you can stay on as an owner and have no hassle-free ownership with no debt and only 1/4 of the obligations. So it's a very interesting model. I think it has a huge future for us. Picasa has already shown us that it works. And as I say, what we do is a little bit different is we don't go buy properties and raise the price 12% and then split it up for these people. If you're buying in today's market at the historical highs and then raising the price 12% and getting a share of that's not really a very good investment, in my opinion. So what we do is we target existing owners. We fold them into LLC with other people. They buy at today's market value. And I think ultimately there's an opportunity, in my opinion, to be able to enjoy some appreciation too. So not only do you get your debt paid off or your expenses taken care of, your sharing arrangement and all the benefits of this ownership, but you still have 1/3 interest that you'll sell in 8 years, and hopefully that's potentially has gone up. But I think it's a great idea. We talked to all kinds of people and different companies and organizations, including Keller Williams, about being more involved in the company. And so I think right now, it's a concept that's getting a lot of traction. We draw on profit-oriented people because we only do whole ownership. And I think that's important because I think that's where the failure has happened in the past, is when you get into trying to resell partial interest. And the other dangerous part about that is that communities can shut that down. And we're seeing that already on Maui, where communities are preventing the Picasso type of ownership. And they can do that, right? So we never plan that world because we'll never resell a partial interest. We only do whole ownership, and that's the difference between us and the difference between most of the other companies, and that's where you make money, is in whole ownership. So we have a great website that we spend a lot of time on. It's very comprehensive. It really spells out exactly what we're doing and how we're doing it. And it's called kohanahomes.com. And if you're interested in taking a look at that and doing a little research on it, and then connecting with me on how that can be a part of your real estate career and role in the future moving forward in a declining market, where sellers want you to be creative, and being able to engage with sellers and listing presentations on creative options. And even the people that I converse with in a listing presentation about co-ownership, most of them are like, that's a great idea. It's not for me, but I love the fact that you're being creative, and I love the concept. I think it's a great idea. And we love the idea that you're willing to be creative and look for solutions. So it allows you to engage with sellers. I generally, if I get into a listing presentation that starts with co-ownership, I still get the listing if they choose not to participate in it, but I'm engaging with people in creative solutions. And I'm also targeting people who don't want to sell, but are only using the homes 2 to 3 months a year. That's a whole new market that we haven't tapped into yet. If you think about it, everyone's pursuing people to sell. I'm pursuing people who don't want to sell, but are only using it 3 months and are willing to take on partners and alleviate themselves of the expense and responsibility for 8 years. The only reason I'd say 8 years is because the average second home ownership is 7 years and 10 months. It really could be any set period of time that the group will agree to. So, and the groups are typically between 2 and 6. Man, that was a lot of information. Sorry about that. But I think check the website. It's very interesting. It's creative. And I think that right now, when people are trying to figure out what the heck's going on and they see a market declining and they don't really have any solutions for it, other than drop your price, which no one really wants to hear, it's going to be important during this next year or two to be able to be creative and have conversations with sellers about how you can do things differently and why they should work with you. That's just my 2 cents worth.
Awesome.
Any
Dean.
questions that I can answer right now? I mean, check the website, and we can follow up anytime and have a conversation about how this can impact you and your career and how you can work with us. We have basically a packet of how to, buy a deck, a seller deck, and a website that explains everything very simply, which you can use to try to create some new business for yourself that doesn't exist right now.
Great. I think Steve had a question. Go ahead, Steve.
Well, I think, yeah, Dean, so what's a situation where I could help you with a buyer or a seller, or is that where I need to connect with you or read that
You
material?
can connect with me on that too, but let's just say that you're farming in a certain area. This is typically a resort community, second home community concept. So if you happen to be farming in these communities, you can build it into your farm program and offer the option and the ability to partner with us on a listing where we could help them. And you, as an agent, this is where you're going to be making money potentially, is that, let's just say, and I'm going to build a house in Lanukea and Kanapali and offer it as a co-ownership house selling interest. So you would typically be out there looking for buyers who aren't buying whole ownership. If someone's coming here and looking at real estate and they're going to the airport and they're leaving, there's no reason why you shouldn't call the people up and say, hey, have you thought about owning co-ownership? If you're not going to buy anything, have you thought about this? And it makes a lot of sense for a lot of people, because most people don't buy because they aren't spending enough time in Maui to be able to make sense of it. And that's why vacation renting is so popular.
Great. Thank you, Bonnie.
So yes, Steve, you can sell these, is how you can do it. And this is it, with a $4 million house and a $1 million interest, you'd be paid a regular commission and like a regular transaction for $1 million sale.
Fantastic. Go ahead, Bonnie.
Hi, Dean. It's Bonnie McChrystal.
Hi.
Hey, how do you compare your offering with the value proposition of Picasa, who was on the phone with us a few weeks ago?
Right.
Thank you.
So what Picasa does differently than us is they buy a property and they raise it 12%, and then they sell 8 interest or 4 interest, whatever, in that property, right? So they charge a premium. They also believe that they can resell those partial interests if one of the participants wants to get out. And we see that as the downside or the problem, because the history has shown that you never make money on those, or at least history, they've always been failures. Like timeshare, it's been hard to resell, right? So what we do differently is we have a set exit strategy. You buy in whole ownership together and you sell in whole ownership together. So we don't do partial ownerships. That's what Picasso does. We don't believe that those are going to be easy to resell. I don't know where you sell a partial interest in an LLC, but there's no real market or platform for that right now. Picasso thinks they can do it. I don't think so. I think that we want to be in the whole ownership business. As agents, we don't want to sell partial interest in LLCs. That's not real estate. But what we do is we put people together and then we sell together, buy and sell together. That's the primary difference.
Love
But
it.
you know,
Quick question.
the partial interest resales have always lost money. I mean, I can point to numerous cases where, and you know, over time, partial interest resales don't go up. It's just, I'm not, you know, saying it couldn't happen in the future. It just never has happened. And we know that whole ownership market is being really great. And I think that right now, buying in the prices that they are today, at these really high historical prices, but you can see buyers are having a hard time, right? But is it an easier investment for a person who's looking at Maui and going, God, I'm not paying those prices, they're going to go down, to say, hey, I'll just buy a 1/4 or 1/6 interest and mitigate your risk, you know what I mean? And still have all of the enjoyment that you would have had if you bought the entire property, because you're only going to be there 2 to 3 months, right?
Awesome. Mark has a question here in the room.
So Dean, does the website have what the property requirements are? This is not for every property, so I'm sure you have to have some qualifications for the property.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really the owner's choice. You know, we just go to owners and say, look, if you're only using your property to interested in selling the unused portion, you know, and it's in a second home community there where people are, you know, coming and going. It doesn't make sense to me, even as a community. To me, I think it's taxing on our infrastructure. It's not great for our businesses to have second homes that sit vacant 9 months a year. That's our market. Right? We're in a community of
An expensive junk property qualifies?
Excuse me?
If it's $8 million, but it's just a mess, does that qualify?
I think it would qualify. Did you say it's a mess? Is that what is it?
Yes, it's a
Yeah,
mess.
okay, so in that case, what we'd do is we'd get the suitable owners together who are interested in buying a property like that, matching, and it's a bit of matching. It's a little bit like eHarmony for real estate. But you match the people, and then what you do is you charge the amount of money that it takes to upgrade that property to a standard that you're willing to maintain it for 8 years and then sell it. So, you know, in a fixer-upper, we would require an upfront investment in getting the property in usable and great condition that we would want to keep it in.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dean.
Can I ask-
Go ahead. Somebody else?
Yes, I just wanted to ask a question. Generally, if you can make a generalization, how is this sort of arrangement perceived by various communities that are opposed to short-term vacation rentals? Because these are owners. I mean, how does that match up?
Yeah, so it's a good question. I think it's a sensitivity in every community right now. And I think, you know, what we do is we don't sell partial interests. So we're not in the business of fractional and timeshare, which is kind of where you get connected to vacation renting. There'll be no vacation renting in these properties, right? So in our opinion, this is an alternative and a solution to the problem of vacation renting homes, right? So you can, yeah, people are trying to vacation rent because they're not using them, right? So this is an alternative. And I think a community would look at this and go, is this better than vacation renting? I think so. You know, does it, in my opinion, it puts people in the homes that are currently being used. We live in a community of unused properties. And I think for businesses, they would like to see people in those homes. And I think as a community that's concerned about development, I would like to see no more development of second homes that get used 2 to 3 months a year, and that we sell the unused portions of the homes that currently exist. It's also very taxing on our infrastructure you have to allocate 365 days of utilities for every property that's developed. The fact that they're only being used 2 to 3 months a year doesn't really factor into the equation, right? So we're tackling our economy by developing more and more second homes that aren't being used. And ultimately it's taxing on all of us. So in every sense, in my opinion, this is a great option for a community that's faced with concerns of overdevelopment, vacation renting, homes that aren't being used, sitting vacant all year. And I think you certainly can apply a tax rate to what we're doing to satisfy the concerns of it. But I think ultimately it's a great solution for an economy and for a business and for a community that is struggling with a lot of these issues right now. So we see ourselves as a solution to community concerns right now.
And one more question in the chat, luxury condos, and are all the options on the website? It sounds like they're continuing to grow, your options.
The options really are second home, community. Like for me, I grew up in a couple of those markets. So I've been dealing with this and doing this on a minor level for the last 15 years, right? When the markets for those homes in Kapalua, except for the last 2 years, has been very difficult. I've had listings for 14 years, that I've eventually sold in the last 2 years. And there's a concern. These are $10 million homes that people use 2 months a year. Does it make sense? It doesn't make sense. Otherwise people would be buying them, right? So we need to find solutions so that it makes sense for people. And right now it's not going to be making a lot of sense to buying homes at historical highs when you're not going to be using them. And you can't rent them, and your taxes are going up. And there's a lot of reasons why not to buy in Maui right now. And that makes me nervous, so everyone is anti everything, and I understand it and I appreciate it, but I'm only interested in business concepts that serve the community and cater to the issues that we're currently faced with right now.
One last question, Miranda.
Hey, Dean, I have a quick question. So are we talking residential only, or will there be condos in the program too?
There'll be condos as well. Like the Montage is a great opportunity for us because of the minimal amount of usage. But any of the condos in the second homes and any of the homes in the second home markets could be candidates for this.
And are they all currently on the website and we just need to sign up for the updates or newsletter?
Yeah, so okay, I should have pointed out, sorry, we literally are just launching this business. So we're not showing inventory right now. I think right now we're just sort of easing into educating people about our concept and kind of in the market of looking for existing owners who are interested in selling the unused portions. And we are talking to people, and we do have a small inventory of options right now, but we're not posting any of it right now. If you have any questions, you can follow up with me on a call. But it can apply to really anywhere. It doesn't really apply well to the very, very residential markets. It applies well to the markets where people are only using them 2-3 months a year.
Thank you so much, Dean. I love seeing the top agent in our company being so generous to share his experience. He teaches classes here, and Keller Williams is a place where entrepreneurs thrive. So it's fantastic to see Dean able to build this business. And of course, we want to be supportive as much as we can. So thank you, Dean.
Thank you.
Yay. You have applause in the room.
Thank you.
Next slide.
It's only because I'm eating those malasadas.
Yeah. Save one if there's any left.
Sugar rush.
Okay, Michelle, do you have anything for us? No, I have something. This is a hot topic. Our owner, Colette Ching, will be on island. She's coming Friday, and please mark your calendars. Monday, we love our West Side, and she specifically wanted to teach on the West Side. So all of us South Side and Central, take a drive to the West Side. It's the most beautiful drive, in my opinion, in the world, and come meet your owner. Colette will be there Monday at the Whaler's office, which is right above the ABC store, at 2:30 to 3:30. She'll be teaching strategic planning, GPS, 411. Now's your chance to meet the number 22 in Real Trends, our owner, Colette Ching. So please come, let's fill the room. She's offering mastermind opportunities after the class. So, and the margarita machine will be there. So we would love to see all of you join us and give a warm welcome and learn from the best in the business. It's part of why I took this job, is so that I could be mentored and learn from her. So now all of you have the opportunity to meet her. So please come Monday the 26th, 2:30. Okay, next slide.
Did you cover that safety alert that went out Sasha?
Oh, yes, there is someone, I need to look up the name that Keone had mentioned in Facebook that is posing as a buyer and targeting women. And Keone, maybe you can remind me the name. I'd have to pull it up on Facebook, or somebody can right now that has access to our Facebook. And he's posing as a buyer for luxury properties, and it can go inappropriate. So, and he acts like he has an assistant named Bonnet or something, Burnett. So go ahead.
Goes by the name of Martin or Donald.
Okay.
He's posing, oh, sorry, I just went away. Posing as a buyer, inquiring about luxury homes for his daughter. He comments on personal information gathered from the internet, like where the realtor has grown up, refers to family members, reference the street you live on, and more. He will also email postings of an assistant named Bernadette.
There.
Do not open or download any attachments. Beware of potential situations. If he contacts you by 310 numbers, there also an 808 number that comes in, 854-6115. Be aware. You can look on our Facebook group for that post, or it came from Ram on your Thursday things. This is for the Maui gang. If you have any questions, you can ask me also. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Keone. We have this up in the chat. I would love to have more of a discussion about safety protocol. At my previous brokerage, we had a code word, red folder, that if you got in a situation that was not safe, you would call me or anyone and say you need the red folder. So let's continue that discussion about safety as a company, because it's our goal to support you in your business and keep you safe. So thank you, Keone, for that. Okay.
Yeah, just as a word of caution, we live in Hawaii, but as you guys saw over the weekend with that young girl getting kidnapped, those crazies are here. So, don't think it can't happen to you. It probably won't. Don't be paranoid, but use your spidey senses.
On that note, I had a police officer recommend the book, The Gift of Fear, and it really changed the way I think. So highly recommended. It talks about listening to your intuition, because usually you're picking up on things you don't even realize. And so on that note, yes, totally agree with you, Keone. Let's support one another and just be safe. Okay. Oh, Lisa had something in the The Gift of Fear is a great book. Yes. And we'll have a KW safety class as well, and a self-defense class. I came from a community in my last brokerage who lost a broker because of safety issues. And so it was always high on our minds, and I'd love to continue that conversation here. Okay, next slide. All right. Oh, yes, Elite Week. Who's going to be there? I'm going to be there. Look, we have 3 people in the room. It's going to be awesome. We do not have to travel to the mainland to meet all these referral agents that are coming. Good morning. You just have to go to Oahu. It's amazing. They're coming to us. So definitely encourage you guys to attend. I'm stoked. We have the director of sports and entertainment that's going to be there, Jordan. A lot of great guest speakers. Click the link below to register. Put in the chat if you're going. We're going to have a great time. With the top team that sold 2,200 last year is going to be there. We can learn from him, the creator of Lone Dog on Facebook. So yes, excited to be there. Okay.
Question.
Yeah, Teresa.
Okay, so Colette is doing West Side on Monday.
Yes.
There's a big group of us that are going to be at Elite Week, so we're going to miss out on her training. Are they going to record it?
Great question. I will find out. She is coming on Tuesday to Elite Week to connect with all of us. So you will also get to see her there. She just felt like she wanted to spend some time on island. I will ask about the recording. Yes.
I love her training. So
yeah,
if you haven't attended a Colette training, it is phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's better. I would say choose Elite Week. And then we'll connect with her there. But yes, we'll try to get that recorded for you, Teresa. Okay, next slide. Oh, and here's our very own Todd.
Aloha, Hawaii Realtors. My name is Todd Hudson with Keller Williams and the 808 team. And I want to personally invite you guys over to Elite Week. We're going to be having that September 25th through the 29th in Oahu. We're going to have some amazing speakers. We're going to talk about some of the best practices, as well as having systems in place for your team or for your business. I'll also be doing a panel talking about second homes. It'll be a great opportunity to talk to some of your investors, share some different ideas that they may be looking to enter into this market. And I'll give you some of those best practices that I do. Looking forward to seeing you all. Have a great time. See you in a couple weeks.
Thanks for dressing up, Todd. That was fun. All right. And Marion, for those that we have a required class presenting contracts. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's required. We have our beloved Michelle, who is here to protect us as our principal broker, and we see some gaps. And so we are really coming to you with these classes to make sure that you understand everything that you need to know to be safe professionally. So next one, September 29th, escrow process. And if you have not yet watched or were not here, go back and watch that September 15th, please. And then we're letting Michelle know that you've done that, so that we can all stay high-performing professionals and understand our contracts and escrows. Okay, next slide. Okay, installation banquet, 54th. It's Friday, September 23rd at Wailea Beach Resort. I will be there. Definitely encourage you guys to go. Colette will also be coming to that. So that would be another opportunity to see her. As Keone described, it's the who's who in Maui real estate. So great opportunity to connect. Oh, and Latasha just put in the chat where you can watch that required September 15th. So save that link if you haven't seen it, and hope to see you guys all here at the installation on Friday. Next slide. I'm stoked about this. Paddling club. Yes.
Question for you, Mom. Pina colada, please. Thank you.
Oh, can we mute Elizabeth? Okay, starting in October at 9 o'clock in Kahului Arbor, our Keone, our gold medalist from the largest paddling competition in the world, is going to lead us, and we are building a KW paddling club starting at 9 o'clock in the morning, Saturdays in October. The only requirement is that you need to learn to swim, and Keone may have a test for you or something at the beginning. I'm going to be there. Michelle wants to participate. I know I've heard Teresa and Chasten. There's some others that have talked about it. So hope to see you guys there.
I'll show you how to flip the boat back over after the swim test.
Can't wait. Can't wait. And the plan is there's a business competition in April. They had, I think, 31 teams last year, that we're going to have our own Keller Williams with jerseys, our own team that competes for that. So presidential scholarship, I have contributed. I respect Keone and appreciate his leadership. If you would like to contribute to his scholarship, there's the QR code. Next slide.
We've funded over, what was it, 880 Maui students. So that's $880,000 over the last, I don't know, since 1989 or something. So it does go to a good cause. And, you know, we help our Maui students fulfill their dreams of post high school education.
That's awesome, Keone. Thank you for your service on RAM. It's great to have our broker be president. Okay, next slide. I'm stoked, you guys. It's family reunion in February in Anaheim. So you don't have to fly to Florida. Mark the date, February 18th through 21st. We hope all of you can come. It will be my first family reunion, so I'm super excited to be there. And this is an opportunity to connect with Keller Williams agents all over the country. I can tell you, Teresa made the commitment to go to our mega agent camp and got a $2 million referral just by going. So you can connect with all the other agents across the country, build your referral business, and plus we have a blast.
If you don't like education, you don't like to party, and you don't like to get referrals from friendly, fun people, then don't go to this. But if you like partying and you like referrals and you like learning stuff about your business, then this is definitely, and it's you know, right there in California. I'm sure they'll have some special event at Disneyland too. So anyway, they're fun, and everybody's there to get referrals. There's no secret. So everybody's having a good time talking story with people. Lots of parties to go to where you meet people from wherever you want, and you kind of just show up. And Colette usually hosts a good party too. So anyway.
Layton says you had me at party, and what I've heard, there might be dancing on tables. I heard stories.
Well, there was last time. There was
I know.
last year. So
I'm just
we'll
putting
try
the
to keep the tradition going.
right. Okay, awesome. So, okay, Bonnie just put something in the chat, her former model home at Parkways at Maui Lani. So that to keep that within us, our group, Keller Williams, which we are able to do if we have that signed. This is one of my favorite classes. Super excited about the color of real estate and unconscious bias. We've been providing those and will continue to. If you haven't been to this class, it really will change your perspective. I didn't know how much I didn't know. And it's really something that we want to know as real estate professionals, the history of homeownership and the generational wealth that has been had people X'd out of getting that opportunity. So we really hope you guys will all attend. And the next slide is
Can I
Yeah.
add to that?
yeah, go ahead.
So we are still looking for team members for social equity. Also, we're planning for October to do in-house on the west side, because we've done central, we're to do west side and do a watch party. And so you'll be able to ask me, Liza, as well as engage with Julia Lachey after that.
Awesome. Thank you for your leadership. Also want to highlight, some of you may not know, we have new communities websites. Super excited about that. We have a KW Rainbow Network community. Stoked about that. Pride Month is coming up next month. So we're going to celebrate and honor our LGBTQ population. And if anybody has an extra installation ticket, let Sam know. Okay, next slide. Luxury Symposium. This is going to be amazing. I sat next to Brady, who is planning this whole thing, and he basically had an unlimited budget. And so if you're interested in luxury, it's a great chance to connect with other luxury agents. I know we have Bonnie and Joyce going. I'm sure Dean is going. So just it's worth it as a referral connection opportunity for luxury. Yeah. Okay, next slide. And this is something where you can get an agent of distinction by taking all of these classes. They are available in October. So take a screenshot or a picture of that. Wednesdays 1 to 2:30 in October over Zoom.
And Julia is going to be teaching us first in person for a while on the agent of distinction.
Oh, awesome.
Liza and I are both doing that.
Awesome. And this is news with awesome news that Forbes recognizes us as a company. On the next slide, you'll see that we were awarded America's Best Employers by State for 2022. That's pretty amazing. Okay, next slide. Latasha, take it away.
Thanks, Sasha. So go ahead and go to the next slide, RJ, please. So this is a cool feature. Some of you may not have been aware of this, but it's called Get Command. So if any of you haven't embraced Command or need a great introduction, this is a new website that KWRI published about a month ago, and just wanted to draw your attention to this. So getcommand.com is a great way to get acclimated to Command. So if there's anything that you don't know or need just an intro to Command, this is a great resource. So it's getcommand.com. Next slide, please. Command hands-on. So for many of you that may not be aware, it's a collaboration between our market center and Oahu, and you can attend virtually and in person. So it's called Command Hands-On. It's like a study hall for Command. So bring your questions, bring your challenges, bring the things that you're working on and need some extra help. They are the first, second, and third Wednesday of every month. This third Wednesday, it will be virtual because Carrie will be hosting, but it will be available from 11 a.m. to noon, and it's virtual, and you can sign up for that, and it's on the internet. So if you need Command help, please sign up. So as always, we have, go ahead, RJ. As always, we like to bring attention to our top performing agents as it relates to our CRM command. So we have Platinum, we have a new number 1. It's Dan Palomino, Chris Rios. Something might be happening on the Big Island, so we'll see what Maui's gonna do. And Randy is coming up in number 3 under Platinum. Gold, this means that they have over 1,000 contacts. Brendan, Lisa, again, something's going on over there on the Big Island, and Ethan rounding out the top 3. Next slide, please. We have silver, which is 500 or more. We have Benjamin, he's number 1. He's been number 1 for I think about 3 months. Miriam at number 2 and Melissa at number 3. Bronze, Marcy, Kayla, and Kayal. So again, those Big Island peeps are crushing command. So as it relates to smart plans, if you want to click on, there you go. We are still a perfect score, 5 out of 5. We have increased 1%, which does not seem like a lot, but it is a lot when it comes to command. So that is 42%. Last month we were at 41%. Next slide. In terms of our vital signs as it relates to opportunities, we have Rochelle Augustine Beck, Homes and Chocolate. They are at 477. They had a +9 from last month. Todd Hudson, the 808 team, are at 262. They had a +4. And Lee Potts and Aloha Group is definitely gaining ground. They had 174, sorry for the typo, and they had a +8 from last month. And we again are in our opportunities 10 out of 10. Next slide. Thank you.
Woo! Well, thank you everyone for starting your week with us. It's great to see all of your faces open. Here's Lisa, come to our Big Island launch party and ship summit September 30th at Waikoloa. And yeah, Lisa said this training is part of your marketing budget because you really are building those relationships. Thank you for joining us. Have a malasada if you're here, and if you're not, come to the office and have one.
Don't forget to do your CE. Time is coming up.
Yeah, listen to
Take
Keone,
your
our
CE. Unless you got licensed this year, you have to do CE, 20 hours, 2 cores, right?
Yeah, awesome. Oh, and Michelle has something in the room too. Yeah.
Just want to cover a couple things.
Take it
before
away.
we wait for the morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, everyone. Aloha. Okay, just want to remind you, if County did not earlier, that your membership dues invoice is out for Maui agents, the Realtors Association of Maui. And you have a grace period this year till October 15th to pay those dues. So please pay your dues. If you're having financial difficulty and you're not going to be able to, please reach out to me. Perhaps we might be able to do something to assist you. The second item is safety. The safety alert went out for Maui County agents from RAM last week of a gentleman posing by the name of Martin or Donald. If you don't read your email from RAM, please read it regarding the security alert. He's posing as a buyer, inquiring about luxury homes for his daughters. He comments on agents' personal information. He's researched you. He knows where you've lived, your family members, says what street you live on, very personal information, and he has been known to get agitated and violent. So please don't allow yourselves to be in an open house by yourself. When you go out, it is Realtor Safety Month this month for NAR. We live on an island, but more and more crime is coming to Maui and Hawaii. We had a abduction at knife point over the weekend of a teenage girl on the Big Island who fortunately was released. But realtors are targeted every year on the mainland. So let's not let one of our own be the next victim. Take care of each other. And that's all I have for today.
Aloha. Thank you, Michelle. Aloha, everyone. Have a good week. Thank you guys for coming. Awesome to have people here. Yay.